I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here as we get set for race number 5 of the first season of the NNSCRA Duracell Ultra Lite Series. First road course stop for both the Lites drivers and Cup drivers here this weekend at Mid-Ohio. Getting ready here today for what should be a good one, 27 laps around this somewhat elevate-changing, very technical road course. A lot of high-speed areas, especially that long stretch heading down towards China Beach. Should be interesting to see that particular corner, how that plays out today. It's also going to be interesting to see if this is the first time that Mid-Ohio has been on a Duracell Cup Series schedule, Lites, Cup, or otherwise, and it is replacing Sonoma, which many will probably remember last season was, let's not sugarcoat it, a wreck fest. It is replacing that particular track on the schedule. We don't know exactly a whole lot about the racetrack, what it's going to bring to the table in terms of passing abilities, pit strategy. Will it be a track position road course? A lot of the road courses we go to, you start at the front, you've got a pretty good chance of finishing up at the front. If you qualify towards the back, you got to rely on strategy to be able to gain track position. Will that be the case here today, or are there enough passing opportunities for a fast car near the rear of the field to be able to work their way up into the top 15, top 10, eventually top 5, maybe by the end of these 27 laps contend for the win? We'll have to wait and see. A big weekend so far for Benjamin Snyder Racing. Their driver Benjamin Snyder lined up on the front row for this Lites race, making his first start of Season 7 of the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series tomorrow. He'll be starting on, I believe it's the front row for that one too, in the second position. So a pretty good weekend so far. He'll look to see if he can pick up a victory here tonight. But Jack Mitchell claims the pole position, one of our veterans on the front row here today. Jack Mitchell coming into this race currently 9th in the points, 31 points back. A victory here going coast to coast at Mid-Ohio can really help him out into getting up into the championship conversation. A driver that managed to do so last week when we were at Lucas Oil Raceway would be Austin Reed. Austin picked up his first win of his NSRA career. He subsequently moved up 5 spots in the standings from 7th to 2nd. He's only 12 points behind Eric Monaco coming into this one, and as you can see on the left side of your screen, he has the advantage in qualifying as he will be rolling off the grid from the 6th position. Monaco will be rolling off from 9th place. But it's time to go down trackside. Let's get those most famous words in motorsports and get ready to go road course racing here today at Mid-Ohio.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Nice and easy, long day. It's going to be a lot of adjustments. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. This is a real race here. We're going to have a blast tonight. I can't wait to get out there and get going.
Field makes its way behind the Dodge Charger pace car. Fuel will be a concern today. Tires will also be a concern. Mid-Ohio is not a very forgiving racetrack on the Goodyears. But 27 laps scheduled today. And projected, these drivers have about a 22-lap fuel window. It may end up getting less than that, especially as the field starts spreading out. We may be looking at these drivers having to pit somewhere around the lap 19 to 22 range, which would leave them with about 5 to 7 laps remaining in the race. Fuel window would open up within the first 10 laps of this race to make it the rest of the way. Maybe somebody will try splitting this thing in half, come to pit road around lap 12, lap 13. We'll have to wait and see what varying strategies take place. You already see the starting lineup on the right side of your screen. Here's your point standings coming into this one. We already told you about Eric Monaco, 12 points up on Austin Reed. Benny Watson is also second in the point standings. He and Reed are tied, 12 points out both. So your top 3 in the point standings have all found victory lane this season so far. Nathan Fogler, he's going to be 4th in points coming to this one, 18 points out. He's actually tied for 4th with John Lightning Jr., so that's your top 5 in overall standings. 6th place, Roberto Crown Jr., former winner on the season. He's 21 points out. Cole Koibe is 7th in the standings, 24 points back. 26 points out is Sophia Simon. Took a big hit in the point standings after Lucas Oil last week. She's 8th in overall points. Going to roll off from the 3rd position here today, though, is that bright orange Reese's number 38 Ford Fusion. And then Jack Mitchell, our pole sitter, we mentioned, is 9th in points, 31 points back. Kyle Langland jumped up 6 spots in the standings last week. He is now 10th in overall points, 36 points out of the points lead. Benjamin Snyder, big weekend as we mentioned for him, starting 2nd today, starting 2nd tomorrow in the Cup race. He's dead last in points, really can use this good starting track position here today to move his way back up in the standings. Here we go, 27 laps of racing at Mid-Ohio. Jack Mitchell's Chevrolet gonna get us under the green flag. Fanning out there, a couple of cars going on to that yellow rumble strip. As Mitchell will clear for the lead. Snyder was side by side with Sophia Simon for 2nd. Looks like he's going to clear her. Single file amongst the top 7, 8, 9 back there as they make their way down the longest straight here at Mid-Ohio down towards China Beach. This is the most difficult corner on the entire course. Looks like they're all making it through so far. Don't want to make a mistake here either, because there's very little area where if you end up spinning or wrecking that a caution, a full course yellow will come out. Doesn't give you a whole lot of opportunity for recovery as Mitchell overdrives there. Benjamin Snyder with momentum is going to try and get up there to him. Not going to have enough. He wasn't close enough to capitalize. Mitchell able to keep himself out in front. There's a big slide there for Snyder. Further back there, David Dixon. He was almost off course. As Jack Mitchell's going to come around, he's going to lead the first lap of this race. Snyder 2nd. Sophia Simon 3rd. Looks like Kat Batson going to cross in 4th, and Aaron Macklin right now would have the 5th position. Make that Austin Reed, rather. He just got around Aaron Macklin in the final couple of corners of that lap. Good battle back here around the 5th, 6th position. That is Macklin, David Dixon, points leader Eric Monaco right there as well. Looking back through the field there as they cross the line. Looks like everybody was good on that first lap. No issues. That could change, though, as we get longer into a run. I mentioned how unforgiving this track is on tires. As that grip goes away, you try and get back to the throttle coming off the corner. Back end does not plant, and you can find yourself looped around. There's last week's winner from Lucas Oil Raceway, Austin Reed. Sophia Simon got off course back there. Whoa, Aaron Macklin way off the racetrack. David Dixon's going to take advantage. He'll take the 6th position away from the 6. Looks like that corner back there might be an issue too. Whoa, Nathan Stapleton way off course, as well as Benny Watson in the 75. So there's about 2 or 3 corners here that drivers are having some difficulty with. Benny Watson was 12th last time by. I don't think that's where he'll cross the line this time. He'll be back around 15th, I think. Yep, that's where scoring's got him. Watson, former winner this season, starting off the year with that Daytona victory. 3rd and points, trying to chase down Eric Monaco. Looks like Aaron Macklin's got his hands full. He just almost went off course there again through that right-hander. And almost had Eric Monaco capitalize. Jack Mitchell starting to pull away, opening up a pretty good gap. Last time at the line, it was about 1.2 seconds. Back to Benjamin Snyder. Snyder with about a 2-car length gap back to Sophia Simon. Another 2 car lengths back to Kat Batson. Right now it's a Chevrolet being chased by 3 Fords as just about everybody messes up that corner there with the exception of Kat Batson and Austin Reed. And now Sophia Simon's under fire. Whoa, look at how Sophia drove it into that corner. Kat Batson was ready to take advantage of the 38 getting off course. We got somebody back there off the course. I think that might have been the 25 of Samet Ozkan potentially. It was hard to tell. Boy, these drivers, they're racing like this is the last lap, and we've just completed lap 3. Potential battle back here. Shading left was Eric Monaco. Going into turn 2 on David Dixon. Dixon covered that though. Ran a little wide there though. Eric Monaco, was he able to get back to the throttle? Doesn't look like it. Might be setting up David Dixon here, heading down into, I believe this is turn 4. I forgot what the track layout is exactly as far as the turn numbers for Mid-Ohio. I remember this was China Beach at least. John Lightning Jr. putting the pressure there on Monaco, who had a little bit of a slip up there on the uphill left-hander. Not going to be able to complete the pass. Madeline Crenshaw. Woo! Near contact between herself and Cody Smart as they're mixing it up for around the 13th position. Crenshaw's going to get off course there, so Smart will take advantage and keep the spot. Samet Ozkan looked to take advantage, but looks like that left side, that inside line going into the uphill left-hander here in the second half of the course is the preferred area. Stephen Burnside tried the long way around through the final corner on Samet Ozkan, and I don't know if it was just that camera angle, but it looked like he got very close to hitting the pit wall there. Might have just been the angle we had, but it looked a little scary, at least to me. As John Lightning Jr. trying to get Nathan Stapleton. This is for 9th place. Remember, Stapleton was off the course a couple of laps ago, and he's done a nice job recovering, back up inside the top 10. 2nd place, Sophia Simon. Big run here on Benjamin Snyder. The two nearly making some contact there. Which lane prevails here through the right-hander? Sophia Simon for the moment has it. Snyder will battle back. Sophia, oh no, way too wide. Way too wide, and that's going to cost her. Oh, was battling for 2nd, now back to 4th. Might lose that to Austin Reed, who almost gets his 2 left sides off of the racing surface. Some great battling here. This is very entertaining, I have to say. And Jack Mitchell's loving all of this happening behind him because he has been able to continue to open up his gap as, wow, Kat Batson slinging it in there and slings it almost off into the tire barriers there. That's another thing, too. Mentioned about how this track is on tires. If you go into a slide at some point, the tire temperature spikes. The hotter the tire, the slicker it is, and the more unpredictable your car is going to be when you're going through these corners. And right there, I think, was a classic case. Remember, Kat had tried to make a move before on Sophia Simon, and it didn't work out. Well, then when she tried to make another move, it didn't stick. Very difficult to be what we call conservatively aggressive. You want to stay in contention with the drivers you are racing around. You want to pass them, but at the same time, you want to preserve your equipment, specifically those 4 Goodyear tires. Jack Mitchell, though, putting together some really good lap times. That last time by, he was at a 1:21.6, which is 4/10 off of his fastest lap. So that shows you right there the difference in what tire wear is. Again, he overdrives that corner, but nobody is anywhere close enough to be able to capitalize on that. You can hear him with the downshift up there through the left-hander. What do you say? Let's take a lap around Mid-Ohio, courtesy of the McDonald's Chevrolet as he comes and hits the start-finish line. Very smooth, very precise. You heard him very easy on the throttle, especially through that final corner. That final right-hander, it looks like you can swing the thing out. It's very deceptive in when you can get back to the throttle, but you heard a lot of time just coasting through that final turn for Jack Mitchell. And actually, that last lap that we took with him was actually a very good lap, 121.961 for being 7 laps into the run. Most of these drivers back here are running in the 122.3, 4, and 5s. Still stacked up for second place on back. It's a runaway for the moment for the race lead, but you've got about 7, 8 cars all lined up in close proximity here for the runner-up position. Got a battle back here. Nathan Stapleton, Eric Monaco fighting it out. Ooh, nearly contact between those two. Ooh, Stapleton off course, but he might be able to stay to the right rear, or the left rear, I'm sorry, of Eric Monaco. Not able to. Monaco will keep the spot. Madeline Crenshaw, Cody Smart still duking it out back here. Crenshaw's going to get a little off course. John Lightning Jr. right there. I wondered about drivers and their ability to be able to work their way through the field. Well, Roberto Crown Jr. was kind of going to be the guinea pig in all of that. Started this race from the 20th position. He is right now in 19th. Caleb Koibe was 19th on the grid. He is 17th, and 18th on the grid was Nathan Fogler. He's 18th still. So it's definitely looking like this is one of those tracks, barring potential pit strategy coming up here later on, where if you start at the front, you got a good chance of running up at the front. That can be huge for tomorrow's Cup race. The drivers that had the benefit of advancing into that final round of qualifying, Cole Deaver going to be starting from the pole position tomorrow. Could be huge. Mentioned Benjamin Snyder going to be starting up at the front as a go or go home driver in tomorrow's Cup race. How about Ralph Mason making his return to an NSRA Series overall? Going to be rolling off from the inside of row number 2 tomorrow in the Audi out of Kyotech Racing. Return for the organization of Kyotech as well. Stephen Burnside mixing it up there with Benny Watson. This is for 13th place. Stephen Burnside's been on a skid as of late. Did not have the best of runs at North Wilkesboro and then dropped 3 spots in the standings last week at Lucas Oil. He's 14th in the standings coming into this one. Trying to get himself back up into the top 10 after he had a great start to the season at Daytona. Now, Eric Monaco right now is in the 8th position. Austin Reed, who's trying to run him down for the points lead, is only 3 cars ahead in 5th. So, as things stand right now, Reed would cut into the points gap a little bit, but not by much. Still a long ways to go, though. We're not quite yet to halfway. Fuel windows open. If these drivers wanted to come to pit road now, they would be able to make it the rest of the way. We've got a new second place driver. This happened about a lap ago. Kat Batson getting around the 50 of Benjamin Snyder, and she just ran her fastest lap of the race as well. 1:21.412 for Kat Batson. Compare that to the 1:21.6 laid down by Jack Mitchell. 1:22.3 for Mitchell and 1:21.9 for Kat Batson. She is head and shoulders faster than Jack Mitchell at the moment. But she's got over 4 seconds she has to make up between herself and the 0-1. I said it before, though, plenty of time, and there you see her in the same camera shot. Ooh, that's not going to help. Got a little off there in turn 3. And Snyder's going to try and reel her back in. If this battle continues for second place, that's going to hurt both these drivers in terms of trying to put down lap times capable of catching the McDonald's Chevrolet. It was in this section of the course that Kat Batson got the second spot from Benjamin Snyder a couple of laps ago, so we'll see if she's able to hit her marks again and try and open up the gap between herself and the 50. Oh, not that way. Aaron Macklin with a good run there on Benjamin Snyder, who got a little off course. And Austin Reed right there as well. Aaron Macklin, kind of a little bit polar opposite of Stephen Burnside. His season did not start out all that well, and he has been slowly, steadily progressing his way up through the point standings. He was up in the top 10 in points last week at Lucas Oil, lost a couple of spots, now 12th in overall points, but looking good to make his way back up into the top 10. And how about this? Eric Monaco got himself around, I think it was David Dixon was the car that was separating Monaco and Reed. He got around him. He also got around Sophia Simon, and now Reed and Monaco are nose to tail. Remember, Monaco was trying to reel in Austin Reed, I believe it was last week at Lucas Oil for that victory, and Austin Reed was able to hang on. Kat Batson's got a bit of a gap still back to Benjamin Snyder. The bad news is, while she's opening up a gap to third place, she is steadily losing ground to Jack Mitchell once again after she was appearing to close in on the race leader. Mitchell, that last time by, was about a tenth slower, but he's in pit road. Here we go. He's coming in, and a few others are coming in too. Kat Batson, Benjamin Snyder, Macklin staying out. All right, so we're nearing the halfway point. Drivers know the fuel window is open to make it the rest of the way, so they're taking the opportunity now to kind of split the race in half. Some drivers going to run the risk of running the extra lap. Hope that their out lap on one lap fresher tires is going to help them a little bit later on in the race. Aaron Macklin, though, was far enough back that he did not get the lap led. Jack Mitchell was so far out in front that he crossed the start-finish line on pit road, so Macklin will more than likely not lead a lap until next time by. Eric Monaco also stayed out, as did David Dixon, Cody Smart, Kat Batson, no, correction, John Lightning Jr., Stephen Burnside, Kyle Langland, Madeline Crenshaw, Samet Ozkan, Virgil Alonso, Benny Watson, Cole Koibe, Nathan Fogler, and Roberto Crown Jr. They all stayed out. There is Jack Mitchell back on the track. Kat Batson going to have herself some clean racetrack now. Maybe that was the plan of pitting when she did. We'll see if she can now start to reel the 0-1 in without anybody pressuring her from behind. Austin Reed leaving pit road as well. Should see a number of others diving onto pit road this time around. We do. Oh, John Lightning Jr. staying out yet another lap in the one car. Macklin, I believe, did lead that lap. Yes, he did. How about this strategy call for the one team? John Lightning Jr., 5th in overall points coming to this one, 18 points back. Now, the question I would have, well, no, it's not even a question. I was going to say, does he have enough fuel to be able to make it back around? But these drivers could have gone another 6 laps if they wanted to, so that's not even anything worth considering. I don't know why I'm even entering that conversation into the picture. We'll see how this works out for him. A lot of the pit strategy you see here are drivers trying to get themselves onto pit road, off of pit road, and by themselves. So that way they are just having to worry about lap times, not having to worry about coming back out in a big group. We saw what happened with a big group when they were all stacked up, second place on back. It was allowing Jack Mitchell to run away. Now we're going to be keeping an eye on lap times after everything cycles between Jack Mitchell and Cat Batson. They should have some separation from everybody else, and it'll kind of be a mono-e-mono in who can lay down the best lap times and who can be the most consistent in their lap times. John Lightning Jr. rolled off the grid 10th, so he should cross the start-finish line and get the bonus point lap lead, as he does right there. Jack Mitchell coming around. He will resume the lead when he passes the one on pit road. Cat Batson is going to cycle into second. Looks like pitting that lap early was the best way to go because Austin Reed was able to leapfrog a few drivers. He's now up to third. Aaron Macklin is now in fourth, and Eric Monaco is the 5th position. Benjamin Snyder's team dropped the ball on pit road. He was third when the pit stop cycle began. He is going to be back to, it looks like, the 6th position here. 7th place is going to be David Dixon, 8th Cody Smart, 9th Nathan Stapleton, and John Lightning Jr., who will have anywhere from 1 to 2 lap fresher tires than everybody else ahead of him, is going to cycle into the 10th position. So keep an eye on him here in the second half of this race. Ooh, Snyder trying to get to Eric Monaco. Gets his right sides off course there. Oh, Cat Batson, I was just about to say, is she closing in on Jack Mitchell? It looks like visibly she was, but getting off course there is not going to help her efforts. Oh, it's so tough when you can see the race leader, and Cat Batson can. Let's compare lap times this time around. 1:22.2 for Jack Mitchell. Cat Batson 1:22.7, so half a second slower for the Aussie Ford Fusion. 1:22.4 for Austin Reed. Trying to close in on Batson for second place. So remember how I said that pit cycles could improve a driver's position? Well, Cody Smart started this race from 14th. After the green flag pit stop, he is now up to 8th. This is really, in my opinion, looking forward to tomorrow, the only opportunity drivers that did not get the best qualifying effort and will be starting deep in the field have of improving track position. Good battle back here for 10th. John Lightning Jr., Sophia Simon, Steven Burnside, throw Virgil Alonso into the mix. Every position matters. Every position is points. And remember, the Duracell Ultra Light Series drivers do not have a playoff system. They don't have a chase like the Next Gen Cup Series drivers do. It's basically kind of the old championship way of most points at the end of the season ends up winning the championship. As I just noticed some right side damage on the 38 of Sophia Simon. Not sure where that came from. Don't know how badly that's going to affect her for the remainder of this race. Normally road courses aren't aero dependent in terms of speed. They can be aero dependent in terms of handling though. Depending on the area where damage is taken, it can affect the downforce going into a corner, the ability for turnability in a corner. Doesn't look like it's really affecting Sophia Simon right now. It may just be, for the most part, visual damage for us. May not be really anything too concerning for the 38 team, but I did happen to notice it though. All right, if we do a lap time comparison, last time by 1:22.2 again for Jack Mitchell, who's been very consistent since coming off pit road. 1:21.6 though for Kat Batson. You can visibly see she closed up the gap, so that was 6/10 she gained right there. 1:22.4 for Austin Reed. So Mitchell and Reed, their last couple of times have been consistent, about the same lap time, 2 laps in a row. Kat Batson though picked it up that last time. Let's see about this time though, because we saw her get off course a bit. Jack Mitchell, did he just run the same identical lap time? No, he did not. Okay. I thought he did. I thought it looked like it didn't change, but he didn't. He ran a 1:22.6. 1:22.4 for Kat Batson, so 2/10 quicker for the 39. And then a 1:21.9 for Austin Reed. So, Jack Mitchell better not be counting his chickens anytime soon, because he's still got, 10 more laps here, a little less than 10 laps. And Kat Batson is closing, and Austin Reed's laying down the fastest lap times of the top 3. It's all about hitting your marks from this point on, preserving those tires. And remember, for Kat Batson, we've seen a lot of drivers try and make moves here through the field and make mistakes as a result. Kat's been one of them. So, yeah, she could get up there to Jack Mitchell, but once she gets there, what can she do with him? Where can she pass him? Does she have to rely on him maybe making a mistake and capitalize on that, or can she go on the offensive? It's like all 3 of these drivers are kind of overdriving the same corners consistently lap after lap. That's kind of canceling things out. 1:22.2 for Mitchell, 1:22.6 for Kat, and 1:22.1 for Austin Reed, still consistently the fastest car of the top 3. Aaron Macklin at a 1:22.1. I don't know if he's got enough time to be able to get up here for this race win, but just trying to hold off Eric Monaco and company to keep his spot inside of the top 5. Let's watch these 3 as they make their way through that one right-hander and see if any of them go off course here. It's coming up in the next couple of corners here. Jack Mitchell has led every lap today but 2. That was during the green flag pit stop cycle. Aaron Macklin and John Lightning Jr. have led those other laps. And feathering the throttle, a little off course there for Mitchell. Kat Batson, further off course there for her. Austin Reed around the same as Mitchell. And Aaron Macklin doesn't hardly get off course at all. So maybe he can get up there to the 24 for 3rd place. Mitchell's back in. What is this strategy? It can't be for fuel. Maybe it's for tires. Austin Reed is in as well. There's no way this could be for fuel, right? The projected laps they could go on fuel was about 20 laps. This has got to be a tire play. Aaron Macklin just nearly ran his fastest lap of the race. He missed it by 5/1000ths. His fastest lap is a 1:21.551. He just ran a 5:56. I'll be honest with you, if I'm Aaron Macklin, I'm staying out here till the end of the race. Don't concern yourself about the tires. If you're running 1:21.5s right now, heck, why would you even consider giving up the track position? But we'll see what happens here. Interesting that the top 3 all came down pit road there. They must feel that nobody's going to be able to have enough tire rubber to get to the end. This is something we'll have to look into, because the notes I had was about 19 to 20 laps they could make it on a tank of fuel. That's what it showed for the projected laps. If what we're seeing here is true, then it's only about 10 laps they can make it on fuel. I don't know. Well, Macklin, Monaco, Snyder, they're all staying out. All right, so yeah, this says to me that that was a tire play, because nobody else is coming to pit road here. Boy, I don't know about that call, though. I don't know about that call for the top three. Aaron Macklin still holding what is about almost 2 seconds back to Eric Monaco. I mean, these drivers that you're looking at right now that are first, second, and third, they were fourth, fifth, and sixth about a lap ago. What is the strategy play for these three back here? Mitchell's now back to 18th, Gap Batson in 19th, and Austin Reed, last timeout's winner, is dead last in 20th. It's about 7 seconds from Jack Mitchell up to the next car, which would be Benny Watson. I don't see how these fresh tires can work their way up through the field. They have to feel that everybody else is going to have to come to pit road for tires here in these final 7 laps, but I don't see it. If this is a strategy, this is something that you gotta bet the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series drivers are taking note of. Macklin, he's staying out. The only thing I can think of here potentially was, did the top three pit too soon? That they weren't able to make it on fuel. Were they about a lap short? Did they come in too early? Trying to do the undercut strategy. That's the only other possibility I can think of. Because remember, they came to pit road, I think it was at the completion of lap 9 or lap 10. That would have put them with about 18 laps to go, 17 laps to go, something like that. I said that the fuel number, the original fuel number, might lessen because of the field getting spread out. We see that happen a lot at the mile, mile and a half, and 2 mile racetracks. It can happen at road courses as well when you don't have draft calculated in. Did they miscalculate and come to pit road 1 lap too soon? Had to come down pit road and top off to make absolutely certain they could get to the finish. I mean, if that is the case, then you'd have to think that somebody like John Lightning Jr. is absolutely fine to make it the rest of the way. Aaron Macklin and these other drivers, they came to pit road a lap later than the top three during that green flag cycle, so you'd have to assume that they all are able to make it. Boy, if that is the case, that is a costly, costly mistake for our former top three. Jack Mitchell was looking like the car to beat to win this race. Kat Batson looked like she was going to make a race out of it. And Austin Reed, trying to run down Eric Monaco for the points lead, was looking like he was going to have back-to-back podium finishes, if not be able to himself get up there in the conversation for the win, since he was the fastest of the top three consistently on that run. And now, I mean, look who's in second place, Eric Monaco, the driver that Reed is trying to close up the points gap to. Right now, Eric Monaco, everything is looking beautiful for him because you've got Austin Reed running dead last, and Benny Watson, who is also tied with Austin Reed for second in points, 12 points behind the four. He's mired back in 16th. Ooh, man, Macklin off the course there, and Monaco may end up getting a victory. He's starting to close in the gap between himself and the six. Eric Monaco, a former winner on the season, trying to become the first repeat winner here in the Duracell Ultralight Series. And I mean, you can see visibly the gap is closed up between himself and Macklin after Macklin overshot that one corner. This thing is not over yet. We can't give the win to the six either. Benjamin Snyder hanging in there in the third position. Cody Smart is up to fourth. He's going to get the most places picked up award today for sure, after he started from 14th, up 10 spots from his starting position. Right behind him is David Dixon in the 45, completing the top 5. John Lightning Jr., we saw him play that strategy, stay out that extra lap than everybody else, hoping his fresh tires would come into play. He's made his way up to 6th, trying to close in on David Dixon to crack the top 5. Nathan Stapleton right now holds down 7th. Virgil Alonso, who was 17th off the grid today, he's gained 9 spots during the course of this race, up to 8th. Stephen Burnside right now in 9th, and Sophia Simon in 10th place as Stapleton off the course. That'll be another spot picked up for Virgil Alonso to move him up to 7th. Aaron Macklin, Eric Monaco, looks like the gap maintains between those two, about a second. 3 laps to go here at Mid-Ohio. Third place battle looks like maybe it might be closing up. David Dixon trying to reel in Cody Smart. Actually, hold on. I think we had a driver just hit pit road. I think the 50 just hit pit road. Benjamin Snyder. He did. Oh boy. If Snyder came to pit road, I'm pretty sure that he was he part of the first group? I don't remember. Oh man, Aaron Macklin, that team's got to be on pins and needles then if they're borderline able to make it on fuel. Oh, you got to keep it on track though. Eric Monaco had a very good corner there. He closed up the gap even more between himself and the Nintendo Toyota. He's within striking distance. If Macklin makes another mistake, Monaco's going to get around him. Do they stay out? Macklin's in. Monaco stays out. Macklin had to pit. Eric Monaco's going to stay out. 2 to go. Eric Monaco now inherits the lead. Does he have the fuel? What a nail-biter this one has turned out to be. John Lightning Jr. back there's got to be licking his lips because, if these 3 are short, he definitely can make it. He's a lap to the good over everybody else. Well, Eric Monaco came into this race the points leader, a former winner. He shares wins with Austin Reed and Benny Watson, Roberto Crown Jr., but he'd love to be the first driver to pick up 2 victories here in the Duracell Ultra Lite Series. Not sure why our scoring is showing the white flag displayed. We haven't even completed lap 26 here, but okay. I think it's showing the white flag because the leader's coming around here. And Monaco is in. Who stays out? Smart's in. Dixon's gonna roll the dice and stay out. White flag will be displayed this time by David Dixon. And the DHL Toyota is gonna try and see if he can make it. Smart had to come in. Monaco had to come in. Look at the top 5. You got Dixon the leader, John Lightning Jr. second, Stephen Burnside is up to 3rd. Right now, 4th place is Samet Ozkan. And I believe the 5th position is Roberto Crown Jr., another of our former winners, who started this race from dead last. He's in the top 5. This is crazy, and I love it. David Dixon coming into this one 16th in points. He's only got 1 top 5 on the season. That's his only top 10 so far as well in the first 4 races. Toyota so far only 1 victory on the season. That was, of course, in the Daytona race, courtesy of Benny Watson. Chevrolet has gone to victory lane the following 3 races. David Dixon's looking to get the Camrys back into victory lane and capture his first victory. Out of the final corner, he'll stay on the track. Sounds like he's still under power. What a strategy call! David Dixon's gonna win at Mid-Ohio. John Lightning Jr., Stephen Burnside, Samet Ozkan, Roberto Crown Jr. gonna be the top 5. Monaco's gonna cross. It looks like in 6th, Jack Mitchell battles back for 7th after all that cycling. correction, make that 9th, I think it is, for Mitchell, 8th for Monaco. We'll have to wait till they get it all scored here. I don't know who finished where. There was so much going on there in those final couple of laps, but how about David Dixon? We saw him first burst onto the scene last season in the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series showcase races when he was driving the number 77 Toyota for Auto Junction Racing. He then comes here to the Duracell Ultra Lite Series in a full-time capacity, and he becomes the 5th different winner on the season, and this is going to be a huge points day for him, a driver that was outside the top 15 coming into today's race. He started from 7th. He led the final 2 laps. Well done to David Dixon. Gutsy strategy call here today. And that's one of the things about these type of races is you don't see the drivers mid-pack and see if they're saving fuel until you see them up at the front. And apparently David Dixon was one of those drivers that had done just that. He had John Lightning Jr., who we know could have made it on fuel, behind him, but he was able to have enough in the tank to be able to get back to the start-finish line. Let's take a look at the finishing results from this one. They should be official by now, and indeed they are. 1-2 for the Toyotas. David Dixon and John Lightning Jr., Stephen Burnside, Samit Ozkan, and Roberto Crown Jr., your top 5. That's going to be some huge point days for the 45, the 11, and the 25. All came into this race very far down in points. Mentioned Dixon was 16th, Burnside was 14th, and Samit Ozkan was 19th. So this is going to be huge for these drivers. Cole Koibe, how about that? We didn't talk about him hardly at all today. He started, I think, pretty deep in the field. Yeah, 19th. Final row, and he gets 6th place here today. This could move him up inside the top 5. Benny Watson is going to gain a point or 2 on Eric Monaco as he finishes 1 position ahead of him. But Monaco still hangs on for 8th. Mitchell, after leading the most laps today, 17 in total, he's going to have to settle for 9th place as the pit strategy did not work out for him. And Aaron Macklin brings it home in the 10th position. Cat Batson, Cody Smart, Austin Reed, last week's winner, 13th for him. Snyder, 14th. Both those drivers looked like they were en route to much better finishes than that. Virgil Alonso finishes the top 15. Then Nathan Stapleton, Nathan Fogler, Madeline Crenshaw, Kyle Langland, Sophia Simon, the top 20. Have to wonder about Sophia Simon, how far back she was, if maybe they had to repair that right side damage we saw, and that cost her a good finish. It's going to continue to free fall her through points. Remember, she lost 6 spots last week after Lucas Oil. She may lose a ton more here today. But that is going to do it from our coverage here from Mid-Ohio. What an incredible race this was here today. This has got me psyched. It's got me pumped for tomorrow's Duracell Next Gen Cup Series race. If Mid-Ohio brought this to the table here today, imagine what it's going to do in its debut on the Cup schedule tomorrow afternoon. Please be sure to join us for that one. Congratulations once again to David Dixon on his first career victory in the Duracell Ultra Lite Series here today at Mid-Ohio. If you guys enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. We showed you your full finish results. You are now looking at your point standings heading into next week. The Cup drivers will be at Texas Motor Speedway. These Lights drivers, they'll be at Devil's Bowl. That should be a lot of fun. That'll be next weekend, so be sure to join us for that one. But until next time, until tomorrow's Cup race, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.